Hello, good afternoon, evening, morning, night, depending on where you're following the 18th Chopin piano competition. We are here in Warsaw, and I'm Alessandro Tommasi.
I'm Rachel NAOMI KUDO.
And I'm HYUK Lee. Dzień dobry, jestem pianistą z Korei Południowej. Nazywam się HYUK Lee. Dziękuję bardzo wszystkim za wysłuchanie mojego pierwszego etapu. Dziękuję bardzo. Thank you.
So, and that was HYUK Lee introducing himself.
I was
think
just
that was
trying
beautiful.
to
Yes.
show my Polish skills.
I don't understand, but I think that was really, really
Yes,
well
we
said.
will ask a feedback from the organization.
All right.
So HYUK, we were talking about your life story. I mean, it's fascinating. You moved to Moscow when you were 14 years old. You said
true.
on the day of your birthday. And it was minus 25 degrees.
Almost.
Almost, okay. But you've been living and studying in Moscow since then. You're fluent in Russian.
Yeah, I speak fluently Russian.
And you moved there with your mother, you said, and your younger brother,
True.
who are actually both here to support you.
Because it's a huge competition and I need a big support from my family.
That's
it's
wonderful.
the most important thing.
That's wonderful. And you are not, you are a veteran, if I can say, with competitions. You've done really well. Your first competition, maybe one of them was the Chopin competition in Moscow for young
That's
pianists.
True. Yeah, it was my first international competition.
And you've also been to Hamamatsu and also Bydgoszcz and Paderewski. So how you've obviously played Chopin from a very young age. What does his music mean to you? How has it helped you develop as a pianist, as a musician?
Are you asking about Chopin's music or?
Yeah, I guess, or both, just your experiences.
I started piano playing like at when I was 3 years old, and it was like very spontaneous because when I went to the street in my hometown Seoul, I accidentally heard some kind of classical music sound, and I started to dance, as my mom told me, and I was so interested in music sounds, so I went to the playground, which was near to me, and started to dance and I was dancing for even a few hours, and I was playing with music and so on. So on the next day, my mom noticed that I have actually love to music. So she went with me to local music academy. That was my first first contact with music. And in terms of Chopin's music, I think, let's say, first piece of Chopin I've played is one of etudes, I don't remember correctly, but probably etude Opus 10 number 4, C-sharp minor. I played when I was 9 or 10, I don't remember exactly. And because since Chopin's music is very, very, very important, not only for me, but for everyone, because, was Chopin's nickname. The nickname was poet of music, poet of piano. Yeah. So Chopin expresses so many emotions of our life by playing piano, by writing notes. So I really like Chopin's music so much, and I'm a fan of Chopin. So that's why that was one of the biggest reasons that I decided to participate in this competition too.
And it must have been very natural because you were playing a lot of his music from a younger age. You wanted to be on this stage.
Yes. It was, of course, one of the biggest dream for me ever, and it came true.
And how did it feel to be on the stage? Were you nervous? Were you excited?
I can't say, I was 100% without any feeling because, playing in this hall, in this historical hall, and for many audiences, and it's always kind of, nervous thing, but happiness was bigger, let's say, because to play in this hall, I've never played never played in this hall before because I played actually in Warsaw Philharmonic twice. First one was after Paderewski competition. It was gala concert here in Chamber Music Hall. And the second time was during elimination preliminary stage. But I've never played in the big hall here before this Chopin competition. So I was so happy, so excited. And it's very rare to see the full hall from the very first stage because let's say in the other competitions, it's not always you can see the full hall from the very beginning of the competition. So I was so happy, so excited, and happiness was much bigger. Yeah.
That's great.
Yes, really. And digging a bit deeper in your history, what drove you to move to Moscow so young?
There was a history behind of this because before going to Moscow, I lived in Vienna like for 1 year, almost 1 year, and I had a kind of summer academy and also like private lessons and so on with professors of Vienna University of Performing Arts and Music. And after studying, it was also like spontaneous. I decided to go to one competition named after Brahms, which was held in Perchach in the city of Austria. And it was my first senior competition, and I participated in this competition as a pianist and as a violinist too. Yeah, but of course it was my first senior competition, so I was kicked out from the first stage as a pianist and as a violinist too. But in the jury of violin section, there was one professor from Moscow Conservatory, and he came after the competition and he invited me to study in Moscow.
Violin.
Yeah, I mean violin and also piano, but he was a violin professor, yeah. And after that, I thought, I had a very long thought with my mother and also with my sponsors because I have a very nice sponsor from Korea. His name is Dusan Yonggang Foundation, and the president of this foundation, Chairman Chairman Park, he has been supporting me since long time. So we had a very long thought, and we decided to go to Moscow. It should be very nice for me, for my education, and since I have also a younger brother too, so we decided why not to go to Moscow. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
I mean, we have so many questions for you because you do really so much stuff, and also, but of course, your family, your past, and of course also the present and the future. But I have a quick question. Did you also learn to speak German in that year you were living in?
I learned somehow, but I forgot everything.
Okay. So you speak, well, of course, Korean, Russian, you're fluent, very well.
Yeah.
Also English, and you're
English.
learning Polish.
A bit, yeah. Because since Polish is very similar to Russian, so I started to learn, yeah. Because I'm very interested in this language. It's a mother language of Chopin.
You're also telling us not just music being your life passion, but you have another one, which is actually chess.
Yes.
And you're going to Krakow to participate after this competition in another chess tournament?
It was an idea.
An idea,
Yeah, but it should be in December, so I'm still deciding. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing that you have time actually for both passions. And I was just curious, does it help one the other, music with chess with music, or are there similarities?
Yeah, there are similar things in terms of analyzing, in terms of calculating ahead. Like in chess, you need to calculate like, let's say 5 to 10 moves ahead. In music, it's also same. Like you need to, you can't play like this part. I want to play like that, and this part. There is no spontaneous in music. You need to. Of course, there are some kind of improvisation moment, but there should be a logic in music as well. And let's say also like if you play classical chess, then you need to calculate and you need to sit like for 4 hours minimum, 3, 4, 5 hours, and it takes a lot of energy. And if you play, same here like in music, if you play like recital and very big program, you need to also a lot of energy, and those are similar things. Yeah, so I think playing chess is very helpful for musicians.
It's fantastic. And you were telling us two things. First, also your brother is a really good chess player, isn't it?
That's true. He's even better than me.
So, okay. And that after, when you were in Warsaw last time for the preliminary round, you did not stop only for the competition, but you decided to stay a little bit longer.
That's true, yeah. And after the preliminary, I played on 16th of July, I remember, and on the 17th I went to Bydgoszcz to meet my friend and organizers of Paderewski competition. And I immediately went back to Warsaw, and I had only one free day, and on 19th of July the tournament already started. Yeah,
Okay.
and we played nine rounds in 8 days. On
Wow.
one day we had a double round.
Wow.
It was so tiring, you know.
That sounds very tiring.
Yeah, very tiring.
I see.
My God.
You mentioned your upbringing in Korea, and obviously your sponsors, your family, your friends who support you, and of course at the Chopin competition, there are many of you from Korea, and I feel like the Korean musicians are so passionate, and they're so well trained, and they're so dedicated. Do you have an explanation for this real surge in interest and passion for classical music in Korea?
Yes, in Korea we have a high number of classical fans, which is very nice sign for whole classical world. And yeah, they are all fascinated, and you know, like many people from Korea, they are also following Chopin competition via YouTube streaming and yeah, and so on. So I think it's a great honor to play here because you know, like this live streaming, people from all around the world, not from even from Korea, but from all around the world, they are following this competition. So I think yeah, in Korea, so many people are enthusiastic about.
And I know
this
that a lot
classical
of
music.
artists love going to Korea because of your audiences. Just like what you said, there are a lot of young people who love classical music, and not just that. I think it's their attitude. Like they cheer, you know, almost as if it's like a rock pop concert. Because no, it's true. In other places, you know, we're expected to be very quiet. You know, sometimes the person next to you will shush you, and I think people feel very scared, like they cannot move. But I know that it's so wonderful in Korea how passionate they are. Thank you so much, HYUK,
Really,
for
yes.
Thank
speaking
you.
with us.
Fantastic.